All right, we're going to fire up another session on our road to 5K here. And yesterday I was talking about how much I hate to record 4 tables at once, but I do want to put in some volume, so it's a little more hectic. It's hard to go through the hands efficiently, but we are going to try and fire up 4 tables because, as you can see, we got deep pools at both 50 NL and 25 NL. They've got a couple people trying to get 1-2 started. Actually, I haven't seen 100 NL running this week, like, at all, and last week it was going off every single day with 25 players or more. So I guess people have moved down in stakes because last week I could not get a 25-50 game to run, and this week it's been just 25-50 running essentially 24/7, and 25 NL has always been running, but 100 NL's been completely off the map. Now I play usually earlier, but so I don't know if at night or at different hours, excuse me, the 100 NL changes, or if they get more action at 1-2. But I did notice what we got here: 4, 5, 6, 7 with a draw to the actual nuts. I like it. That we can fold. That we can fold to a 4-bet. That we can call. This we can 3-bet. Okay, that queen is interesting. So I'm a little bit hesitant to raise because it essentially gets you committed to the pot. So my options are fold or call. We are going to peel one more. Well, I got 4 to a flush. I think I am actually going to put in a small bet. It only has to work. Oh, he snap calls. What do you have, a6 or something? Oh, he flopped top 2. Okay. So betting half the pot. Oh man, this guy's... So yeah, I'm getting crushed on both tables right away. By the way, I think you can fold the turn with just the lone 7. Especially when the board, like, if you make your straight, it'll look, I mean, there'll be 4 to a straight out there, like it would have been 4, 5, 6, x8, or 3, because it's harder to get value, so your implied odds are worse. But it's a little bit offset by the fact that I had 7-9, because when I hit it, sometimes he'll have a lone 7, and just, like, be happy to stack off into the actual nuts. I think I just flopped a set. I did. Still got a lot of ground to make up on these two. Obviously now we're gonna... What's going on here? This is why it's hard to stream and record. Jeez. Couldn't even get a c-bet out of that guy. Yeah, I'm getting 3-bet all over the place today. Ace-10, ace-10. Constantly astounds me that people in 2017 are just like open limping and limping all over the place, but it's okay. It's good for us. Somebody hit me up on the... Is my stream working? Somebody go in chat and tell me, because on my screen it's jumping all over the place. From the cutoff, I'll actually 3-bet pretty large with ace-10 and fold to a 4-bet. Flop top 2. Whee! Pretty dry board, but it is a very strong hand, so I'll put in a sizable bet. And we still can't shove, but we will set up a river shove. And all in. Oh, he snap calls. What happened? 6-8. Nice. Little gut shot. Getting crushed over here. That's frustrating. He flopped a monster though. And we got 2 pair here. Yeah, obviously I'm not afraid of 6-8. I was actually more scared of like the other gut shot. I think Jack 10 would have been, or not Jack 10, King Jack. What's going on? Oh no. Oh, well. That's okay. Missed a little value on the river there. So that's kind of an unfortunate way to lose, but he had a monster draw. I wish he had just gotten it in earlier. Yeah, so the stream looks like it's glitching a little bit. I've been having that problem. Let's see, open up OBS, stop streaming. What we got here? Check. It's trying to stop. It says stopping stream. I wonder if it's because I'm recording too. Maybe I shouldn't record and stream. Start streaming. Let's see if it comes back or not. What happened? Gosh. Oh, it's so frustrating. Trying to figure out the stream. I'm getting check raised all over the place. I'm getting annihilated in showdown and non-showdown. Just let me catch a break here while I figure this out. Let's see if it works any better. So frustrating. Start stuck 2 buy-ins in the first minute. Jeez, what is wrong with this stream, man? Hey, it looks like it's working. Somebody let me know if it's not. Maybe it has been fixed. Oh, I'll get a walk with kings. That's great. That's fine. Whatever. Fold away all our money. Ace king suited. I will call. So yeah, we started with like a couple bad plays, and then we had the ace-10 hand where the board ran out. The flush didn't come in, but he hit the gut shot. He had a combo draw. So we're stuck probably about 2 buy-ins, probably 100 right now. Ace-8 suited under the gun. I think you can fold. I often raise it actually, but we're gonna play pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy. 6-7 from the cutoff's probably the bottom of my cutoff range. Flop nothing, 3 ways. That one's close, but I'll let it go. This one we have a gut shot. Half pot is fine. So 2 overs, backdoor, non-nut straight, but backdoor straight draw. And since I raised pre-flop, I c-bet pretty frequently. What happened? Okay, he snap calls and then leads the turn for 1/4 of the pot. But I didn't turn any more equity, and I don't really feel like I need to do anything crazy, so we will fold. The software is glitching a little bit. That's not a great turn, but we did turn some extra outs against a king, and a weak king may not be happy about it. There we go. Now I'm saying I could check. What is going on? So he didn't lead the turn. It was just a, now I can't really beat anything. He had a pair of kings. I'm glad a 10 didn't come. And we will fold. 6-7 was already beating us. Yeah, all you can really beat is 10-jack, so I'm not too scared of folding the best hand there. I can fold here. Kings. say this pretty much every time I record a video or stream, but I hate that Ignition doesn't have an auto top-off feature. It's pretty much the worst. Wow, I've had kings twice in the past 5 minutes, and I got to walk both times. What a bummer. Alright, we're going to request chips. So what I was saying, that's why, is trying to reload on tables, particularly zone, is just a huge pain. It's just so much harder than it should be. The fact that they don't have an auto top-off feature is insane. Because it's just so easy to... I'm not committed to this pot at all. I bottom pair with a decent kicker, but I'm never going to know where I'm at. And even if he is just like betting a flush draw, he has plenty of equity, so I will let it go. I think you can make the argument for floating one, like taking a card. And I think if I was heads up in the pot, I'd feel a little bit better about it. With the guy behind me, I think folding is fine. It's not too weak. Anyway, I'll quit ranting about it, but I hate that there's no auto top off. Like, to the point where it's enraging. I also hate that you have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get poker tracker software to work, and that it's all random tables. But it does cut down on bum hunting, but it doesn't let you create notes on anybody. It's pretty ridiculous. Flop nothing. I guess we can check. Yo, shout out to BSU Ballin 1-1. I don't know who you are, but you're awesome, man. must be a Ball State student. Just that name lets me know that this guy must be like a real player. That he lives in Chicago or something. Hits up the shoe. Alright, ace-king suited, ace-10 suited. I will 3-bet ace-10 suited against a cutoff raise, or probably even against this guy. I wish I had 200 big blinds as well. He's thinking forever. Obviously over here we're 3-bet getting it in. 2-3 is actually one of the rare hands I'll fold on the button. Let's size it pretty big since I'm out of position. I'm going to 3-bet this small since I'm in position, and because I'm going to just, obviously snap fold to a 4-bet. We will see bet a little over half pot here. Not an ideal flop at all. It came out red. We've got black cards. The queen is good for his king queens and ace queens, but he folds. They have a pretty wide range. It does obviously suck to 3-bet out of position, get called, and then have to try and maneuver in the pot. It's just so much more difficult than when you have position. But with a hand as strong as ace king, you're pretty much always going to flop either top pair or 2 overs, so you usually have decent equity. Okay, so this guy limps, I make it 4, and this guy 3-bets. Readless, there's no reason to go crazy against a guy. Okay, that one I will fold. So I'm going to fold. It kind of hurts to fold. Like, I love queen 10, jack 10, 9 10, those type of hands suited, because you can flop a bunch of equity, push people around, make your hand. But $6, it would have been a $12 pot with a $44 stack. You're looking at a stacked pot ratio of like 6 or 7. No, wait, less than that. What's going on here? It looks like a good flop, but it's really not that great. Since he did open limp, I don't know. Oh, come on, I'm back. Since he opened limped, I take shots at him a lot if I have any outs. Anyway, $12 in the pot, $44 stack. You're looking at like a stack pot ratio of 3, and you don't really want to start getting into spots where you're most often going to flop like a pair of queens, and it's going to be really easy to get pot stuck or fold all your equity away after putting a bunch of money in. So down here we raised the button with king 4 and got a decent flop. Take it down. So I've been constructing some pre-flop charts for zone, And I'm kind of lost when it comes to suited aces under the gun because... So I've been raising essentially 100% of them. Earlier in this video I folded one because I was saying I wanted to play more straightforward. I think you can tighten your under the gun range even in 6 max. Oh, see, and I just checked it back. Which, checking back's not a huge mistake there, but I would usually see bet. I'm not going to raise here 3 ways, even in position. I was hoping to hit the flush though. I will 3-bet this. It's a little squeeze on him, plus it's a good starting hand. He calls pretty quickly. Flop, top, top, and I think I'm pretty well committed to this in a 3-bet pot. So I'm going to make a big bet on that drawy board and stack off. If he happens to have ace queen or a set, then it is what it is. This guy flat calling 2 makes it a little more likely he'd have a set than ace queen. If all the money went in, that would worry me a little bit, but obviously neither of them really hit that flop. So I was talking about it a little bit yesterday. When you're committed to the pot, you want to make big bets, and you want to decide whether you're committed right away before you put in 10% of your stack or more. Or at least when you're about to put in 10% of your stack, you're at what we call the commitment threshold, and you need to decide whether this is a pot you're really willing to go in for or not. Because the problem is when you get shoved on for a pot size bet, you're getting 2-to-1 on your money, and you only have to be good 33% of the time. And you don't want to get in the habit of putting half your stack in, getting shoved on. Hold on, I need to 3-bet this. Make it small because he's got a small stack in a gut position. You don't want to get in the habit of putting half your stack in or over half your stack in, and then fold. This guy, okay, well he folds, which is good. His opening and then calling range is like a reasonable one would be, what just happened, see? Whoops. Essentially clicked it back on this guy, which might actually be okay. With the ace queen suit. Wow, he opens for 50 cents and then folds for 50 cents. These guys are incredible. This one I think we're just gonna... See, I'm being a little bit inconsistent here. Because earlier I was 3-betting ace 10, 100 big blinds deep, and now I'm just calling. I don't have a good reason to do that. Flop an overpair in a 3-bet pot. Now I'd barely consider it 3-bet because his open was a min raise. That is like not the worst river in the world. Obviously I'm not calling a big bet though. So this is not a great spot. I expect to actually see like pocket 10s pretty often, but we are committed, especially with the flush draw out there. So we are going to put the money in, and if he calls, expect, oh good, no queen, no 10 if we can hold here, and we did. So he min raised and then called it off with 1 pair. That's just like such a glaring error, and it's one of the best ways for decent players to make money is against guys who do that. I actually, even knowing how bad a lot of these guys play, I don't give them credit for doing stuff that bad often. So it's always a nice surprise when they do something just absolutely absurd like that. Okay, we will see bet half pot and give up pretty quickly against much resistance. I'm not gonna fight this guy out of position on this board with no heart, no equity. Okay, that guy 3-bet and then folded, so finally didn't walk in the big blind with kings, which was nice. And obviously I'd rather get it all in pre, but given that when you don't get it in, you just get the money for free, you don't have to fade any outs, not too bad. Alright, so I 3-bet and the original razor fold, so good, he folded. Ace King's a really strong hand. Out of position, I actually don't mind this. I am going to 3-bet pretty big as well. Button ranges are super wide, so he min raises and I can pick up $1.50 pretty often, which I happen to that hand. Oh, I didn't even realize my overlay is covering half that top table. I need to fix that for the next stream. 10-6, I think you can fold, obviously. Fold, fold. Suited face cards on the button, I open 100% of them. If you don't want to, that is totally fine. Like if you want a tighter button range. I think something like Queen 8 suited or higher is an obvious raise. But like if you want to fold your Queen 7s and 6s, that's perfectly fine. I usually, in position, I think you can argue for 3-betting some small pairs. I like to call both in and out of position because I don't like to get blown off with a 3-bet or a 4-bet and like fold. Like it's kind of a disaster, a theoretical disaster, if they blow you off with ace king, ace queen. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is called flopping the straight. And I also like the hope is that other people will come along, obviously. We'll check. I actually think you could make the argument here for bumping it up a few big blinds because I'm going to put in another raise here. I'm actually not like super in love with it because 10-jack is a pretty common hand for people to have here. Go bet a little over half the pot and then shove the river. And to a lesser extent 6-10, but obviously I am absolutely... Oh, Jesus. Whoops. Well, that was min value on the river. I thought I hit all in. And I will look at what he had later to see how bad that was. 50 cents. Hopefully he had like something stupid like ace high with a open-ended straight draw, and I actually made 50 cents instead of losing out on like $15. But he probably had like 2 pair or a set, and I just blew $15 by hitting the wrong button. That's an anti-bink. And like my misclicking actually hasn't been too bad, even on the software that I'm not used to. The very first day I accidentally folded like a couple hands, including one where I drew to the straight, hit it on the turn, thought it was on me to act, so I thought I was hitting check, and I was actually hitting fold now. So like I paid a bunch of money to draw and then just folded when I hit it in a big pot, so that was frustrating. But the misclicks have not been too bad, but that one was not great. Got a little under half the pot. I am going to peel one here and see if he checks the turn. If he fires again, I'm going to fold. Okay, I'm going to fold. If he had like ace king or ace queen and he got me to fold the best hand, that's fine, but I'm not going to pay 2 more streets, especially the bigger bet streets, to find out. Yeah, you like that? Ballin'? 50 cents on the river. I'm going to find out what he had. I really, really hope that I actually made an extra 50 cents. It's just so hard to look through hands on here. Fold. Okay, hold on. I'm going to sit out next hand and look at this really quick. Fold. Obviously not folding jacks. Oh, I hope I get another walk with my big pairs. This just happened all day. No, raise. Come on, buddy. Yeah, another walk. Okay, so we will look real quick. Oh, I meant to hit sit out, sit out, sit out. Give me aces. Queen 10, I am going to play that. King 9, we will defend for a min bet. Flop top pair. Sit out. Check to the racer. All right, so we have top pair and the dummy end of a gut shot. What am I doing here? I'll just make a standard race. Oh man, he only has, okay. I should have looked at this. Dang it, you jerk. He does not have a lot of money behind. I'm gonna check raise all in on the turn. That is 20 big blinds, so if he has me beat, it's not a huge loss. Now the problem is, I guess like I wouldn't have minded pre-flop. It was a min raise. Like snap fold's great. Okay, so let's take a look real quick. I have to see how much value I missed with this min bet on the river. Is my mic working? I assume it is. Let's take a look real quick. Yeah, it's working. Okay. Where is my min rate? Oh, here it is. Okay. So, to everybody that was laughing that I min raised the river, I actually made an extra 50 cents because he had ace 10. Love it. extra 50 cents. That's max value. No one else could have gotten an extra big blind there. That is why I'm the greatest. All right, I'm going to be back in 30 seconds. Alright, back to the crushing. I am back. I have no idea if I'm up or down this session because I got crushed so hard earlier, but I'm up $80 from a buy-in on this table, so I can't be stuck that much. Ace-Jack, it's a little loose to 3-bet and under-the-gun razor with, but I think it's a little better than just calling. If you get 4-bet from behind, it's an obvious fold, and if he 4-bets, you can fold, and it defines where everybody's at pretty quickly. Plus, if he has ace-king, ace-queen, flopping pairs is hard, and you get to kind of take control of the pot. So, I'm going to pretend that I've got an overpair, and bet about 6. I think I'm going to go 6. And if he has ace-king or ace-queen, I expect him to fold the majority of the time. Sometimes he'll bluff check-raise and like go crazy, and, you know, I lose a bunch of money, and it happens. Interesting turn. So I just turned more. I'll just c-bet half the pot. Gosh, everyone's calling. Getting those odds, I think I'll peel one off. I think I am going to bluff here because I turned more outs, and it's a little bit difficult for him to want to continue if he doesn't have that 7 or a set. And I call a huge 3-bet because of the price I was getting, flop nothing, and we will fold. That was a good... I'm reading the chat right now. That's great. I'm not going to say it out loud, but... Speaking of that, I need to come up there and play. For real. But we can't all be as good as him, so... What is going on here? This is ridiculous. I'm going to fold. I think I have the best hand, like, some percentage of the time. And it's not like he could have a ton of outs. I have no idea what you would take that line with except a pocket pair. Like, it would be so ridiculous to have a guy check rate or raise preflop, and then you just like blow him off the hand. But he put over half his stack in, so I don't think he's folding. Hey, King's finally getting some action. Call. I can beat that. Oh boy, I can still beat it. Now I can't. It's kind of how I've been running from time to time. It's kind of up and down. I just gotta, you know, get a guy shove pre-flop with queen 9 against kings. Trips. But what can you do? Obviously, you want guys to put it in with queen 9. So kings have not been that good to me today. I'm gonna check this back. He's got a stack that looks ripe for the check shoving, and obviously I can't do anything with it. That I will fold. And this, yeah, I pretty much never have the best hand. Gosh, being 4-1. Like he has a king almost always. So I have to be right 20. I have to win 20% of the time. Maybe he bets a 6 or pocket 7s or something random. 20% of the time, I just doubt it. Like, I think you can save $1 there. Oh, this is annoying. So I defended pre-flop with an ace against a small blind raiser because it's really wide, and he's actually barreling now that I have a pair. So if he makes a big bet on the river, I think I'm actually going to give it up. Even though it's blind versus blind. Gosh, it's so annoying. I am going to fold. And you fold the best hand sometimes. Like, if he's got a flush draw, or he's just going crazy. But obviously I can't beat anything, so you have to decide, like, how often is he bluffing. I beat none of his value hands. So is he bluffing over, what do you bet, 2/3 of the pot? So is he bluffing, I should have led there. Is he bluffing 40% of the time or whatever it needs to be? Or 33. Okay. I'm back. I'll have to do the math. I honestly don't know the math right now. But I don't think he's bluffing very often, and I beat none of his value hands. So, whatever. We'll fold. I'm going to try and squeeze $2 off the river here. See if like some Jack 10 will call. What happened here? I raised pre-flop. Okay, I need to buy more chips on this table. I did not realize I was trying to make a set with 12 bucks or whatever. Oh, I already did. That's cool. I've got 3 pair and have to fold. That's great. Oh my gosh. Come on. Just let me back in. Gosh, I hate this. This is buggy software is just so annoying. This happens sometimes when you go to buy chips. We will bet half the pot there, or 3/4 the. No, that was a full pot. So now I've got this like spinning circle telling me it's thinking. I think if you hit sit out next hand. What happened here? I 3-bet. He called. We can c-bet that board. Aces. Pocket 3 is 200 big blinds deep. I am going to 3-bet that for a couple reasons. You can win outright. Now people will defend wider against you. Okay. Oh, he 3-bet. Okay, I'm not gonna go crazy and 4-bet this guy or something. In fact, you could even argue a fold when it goes bet 3-bet in front of you. The general rule is you want 10 times as much money behind as the raise you're gonna call, which you're getting. When he made it 450 and he's got $50 behind, you technically have decent odds to set mine. The problem is someone being behind you lowers your value a little bit, because every once in a while they will actually have a hand, even though they're on the button, they'll actually have a hand and blow you off of it. So you call 450 pre-flop, 9 big blinds, and then you literally just throw it away. So the aces, obviously nothing happened for me. Okay, so I'm going to say sit out next hand. And that thing's still good. All right, we're going to get rid of that table. We're going to open that. And open another table. Hopefully without that annoying circle of death. Flop the top of stack pairs. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Let me play. I'm back. Sweet. All right, this is pretty much a dream situation. We got a guy with a small stack, and I've got ace king. So obviously, put the monies in, put him in. What are you gonna do? It's a decision for all your chips, buddy. Your 12 big blinds. Slow roll me with like 9-10 or something. Darn it. Oh yeah. Aces for 200 big blinds. Let's go. Oh man. Today has not been a good day for the pocket pairs. Aces and kings have gotten no action, and then what, I lose with kings or queens once? I think I lost with kings against. So what happened here? Whatever. Cool. I will punish you for limping, sir. I will punish you for limping as well. So yeah, I've pretty much gotten walks or no action with everything, except I did get kings all in pre against queen 9. Guy only had 50 big blinds though, and he did hit trips, so hasn't been a great day for big pocket pairs. But what can you do? Here we got ace queen facing min raise. We will bump it up 3.5 times the size of the raise and pick up $1.50 for free. Hey Millie, you want to be quiet? Fold. What's going on over here? Min raise. Yeah, I'll defend. That's ridiculous. All right. Pocket pair in the small blind. Flop an upside down set. He min raises. That is super annoying. He clicks it back. What is it? $1 more? No, I'm not calling 4 more big blinds. Yeah, I think I've been playing for like 45 minutes, and I was just planning on playing a pretty short session. Oh man, I just... frustrating. Wasn't paying attention. Talking too much. Yeah, obvious 3-bet is obvious. Maybe he has a set. Maybe he has a set. Probably should have checked that turn. That is really... Oh man, guy's only got $4, so we're getting it in if he jams his last dollar in. Okay. Well, we're not getting it in for another 80 big blinds. And if he has a flush draw or like 8-9 or something, it is what it is. That's annoying. Backdoor straight, backdoor nut flush. We will put out a c-bet. It's not like the best spot in the world. We got someone behind us, and we're not super deep either, so it's hard to like, I don't know, exert as much pressure later in the hand. He calls. Interesting. Don't give him a ton of credit. I mean, obviously I don't give him a ton of credit for a 6. Don't give him a ton of credit for a queen either. So if he has like, now if he does have any decent queen, he's probably calling, and I'm checking the river. I just don't fire a ton of 3 barrels against these guys. I have no idea what he has, and I'm not going to try and find out, especially because 7-8 got there. What's going on here? What's he show? Ooh, nice! Pair of 4s on the river. Fantastic. Fantastic. Actually, pretty standard hand. Can't complain too much. So, pocket pairs have been horrible for us today, like I said. Lost with 10s, kings. Let's see how jacks fare. We got them on both tables. Diamond club, diamond club. And they say poker's not rigged. I will bet at least one more street for value here. Now, obviously I value tell myself against queens. Yeah. Queen 9-5, queen 9-4. And they say poker's not rigged. Seriously. Obviously I'm value towning myself against... Oh, great. It's putting us into a bad spot. Against queens, but it's so drawy you can actually get value from some hands. And we'll call. And we'll call here too. Queen 10, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. What an idiot. What happened here? Fold. What has happened? 10 jack. Gotcha. Okay. That's a hand you can have. Maybe I should just... Did he bet the turn? I probably should just folded the turn. That way we'll call. See? I just accidentally sized my 3-bet too small. Yeah. And then this happens. Thought I was playing 50 and L up here, and that I was opening, and I was actually accidentally 3-betting. What is happening here? Ugh. Ugh. I think I will actually fold if he shoves. Like if he open jams, well, obviously I'm calling that. Okay, so he flopped a flush. I was afraid he had flopped a flush, so that's why I was not gonna go crazy with the 2 pair there. I probably would have folded if he jammed. So he made a little bit of extra money. We'll peel 1 there. We'll 3-bet here. And here we're running out of time to get in. Our check raise with a set. Gosh, dang it, man. Oh, good. No action on our good hand. Yeah, I'm going to call it a... Oh, what do we have here? A clear shove. Oh, up against aces. That's fantastic. That's great. Yes, buy more chips. I am back. Stuck like 5 buy-ins. Not really. So yeah, sometimes you have ace-king in the small blind and they actually wake up with aces. Sometimes you're the one with aces, though. Sweet. Okay. Little gut shot over here. Jacks again. Let's see how they work this time. On the button, that's pretty good. Hey, pocket kings. Go. Let's go. You've got queens. You raise. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully he's got queens. Size it like that. Just about the worst flop. It would be a little worse if there was an ace out there, obviously. But we won. Win a little pot there. It's all about grinding it out. Excuse me. All right, another ace-king hand. We are out of position against the 3-better, so we will make a big committing raise and pick up some dead money. Pocket aces. Ooh, sweet. And we're 200 big blinds deep. I'm going to size this one bigger as well. Makes it a little easier to play post-flop. It also sometimes fools them into going crazy with like ace-king or something. Or putting you on ace-king and going crazy. All right, combo draw. I think you could argue for a check raise. calling is fine. Ooh, limping. Interesting. Now I wish I had check raised because I'd be able to represent a 9 better than him. I think I might represent it on my turn here for one street. I think we'll pretend we have a 9 here. Okay. So I'm gonna wrap this video up. Probably just check fold here. Ooh, what's he gonna show? Oh, he had aces, so that is a tough fold. All right, we'll play about 1 more minute. Call it a day. Might need this $5 for that last minute. So I think if I'm calculating correctly, we're down about 2 buy-ins. And given how we've ran, it's actually not too bad. Not too bad. I think we've picked up a bunch of dead money. We haven't ran like the worst of all time, but we've ran decently bad. Got coolered and got sucked out on in some medium pots. So overall, decent session. Put in a little bit of volume. And I think that'll wrap it up. Let's see. Queens are peace. That is a fold. That is a fold. I actually might call 15 cents if this guy limps as well. Nope, he raises. Thank you. Flop an overpair. On a really dry board, we can bet full pot. All right. So we are done playing. That's going to wrap up our session. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below.